What's going on again, Vol Nation? This is Frank. This is the House of Orange coming at you. If you just concluded watching the Tennessee Samford game, you saw a pretty exciting game today. And I'll get into it in just a minute. Make sure you hit that like, that share, that subscribe. This ending to this game, of course, that pretty much, I know Levi Vols softball's playing too, but Tennessee gets a big win over Texas A&M today in basketball, and then Tennessee tied at 3 in the 8th inning. Tony Vitello makes the decision to pinch hit for Ariel Antigua with Levi Clark with the bases loaded, and the rest is history. A fastball down the middle gets sent way out of there, and the first really electric moment as far as in a close game has happened on Rocky Top, courtesy of true freshman Levi Clark. This was a good baseball game today, and it was a hard-fought win. It was a tough day. Tennessee hits were hard to come by on both sides, and once again today, Tennessee 2 pitchers, and that leaves a lot of questions about tomorrow, and I think it's an easy answer, but it'll be interesting to see what Tony Vitello says in his press conference, which I don't think will happen by the time I finish this video. So, I'm sure some of you guys will, leave me some comments here later on as well. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what your reaction was to the Levi Clark bomb when you were watching it. But, some key things that stood out for me today. Marcus Phillips, 4 2/3, 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. He did hit a batter on the day, 69 pitches, 44 strikes, 1.35 ERA in 2 games. I thought he threw the ball really well today. And the only error, Tennessee did have 2 errors. They were both by the pitchers, one by Phillips, one by Snead today. Snead picked up the win, 1-0, 4 1/3 inning, 1 hit, 1 run, but it was unearned as he had a throw-in. It was a tough play. And it's one of those where you're pitcher, you're going to try to make that play, and it was just the ball sailed on him, or not really sailed it. It went right on him. Samford went ahead to get that run, but I thought a big play in that inning was there was 2 outs, a runner on third, and a ball was hit up the middle. And you guys have heard me say this. Now, I've not seen your Abernathys, your Manny Marins, and some of these guys play shortstop yet, but I can tell you without a doubt, if they can outplay Ariel Antigua at short, then that's something else. This is nothing against anybody on that roster, but Ariel Antigua is one up. He's the best defensive shortstop on this team. If there's a better defensive shortstop in all of college baseball, I'd like to see who it is. I'm not saying there isn't one, but this dude can play. That was a heck of a play. He made the play up the middle, made the throw, got him out of the inning, left that runner stranded on third. That was big, and then they come in and get the grand slam that wins the ball game. I thought that was a huge sequence in this game. And, again, it was a game that runs were hard to come by on the day. As Tennessee just had 6 hits today. And you look through your lineup. Here's the beauty of this lineup, and we've talked about it numerous times on here. This lineup, 1 through 9, is very solid. It is a very solid lineup. It may be even more solid than last year's. I don't know if it's as top heavy. That remains to be seen. But as far as 1 through 9, and then there's another 4 to 5 guys on the bench that could be a starter at most places in the country. But to me, main guys today, Bargo come back. He was 1 for 4 today. Had a home run, game tying home run earlier on. Clark, of course, with the grand slam. Jay Abernathy, he got on. He was 2 for 4 today. He had a double. He didn't steal a base the last time that he got on. But I almost want to say Samford's pitcher was throwing breaking balls. He was struggling with the fastball today. And 2 fastballs while Abernathy was on base ended up being pass balls, and it enabled Abernathy to come in, score, and tie the game at 3-3 when Hunter Inslee was up, because Inslee ended up flying out to right field, or else, if not for that wild pitch, pass ball, whichever you want to call it, it would have been 3-2 heading in. Just heads up baseball today by Tennessee. And, I go through the order. Curley 0 for 5. He had a rough day today. He had one strikeout. That was a tough one. He battled on it, and then the guy threw a good pitch that he chased on. Keelan 0 for 3. He did have an RBI ground out. He had a walk. Inslee was 1 for 3. He had a double. He had a walk. Fisher was 0 for 2, but he had 2 walks. He scored on the grand slam. Newstrom did come in late as a defensive replacement. I'm curious if we don't see him tomorrow because he played some good baseball last weekend, and we've not seen much of him since. Saw him a little bit against UNC Asheville. Peebles 0 for 4 on the day. Bargo was 1 for 4. Reese Chapman was 1 for 2, had 2 walks, had a run scored. Antigua was 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch, scored a run. Clark pinch hit late, 1 for 1 with the grand slam. And Tennessee already has 4 on the season in 6 games. They had 12 last year. I mean, if they continue this pace, they'll have a chance to break the all-time single-season record set by Arizona, but long way to go still yet. And then Jay Abernathy, I mentioned him, 2 for 4. He had a double. He had a run scored. 6 batters left on base today. That was, a part of me wonders if sometimes the left on base thing is not overemphasized because, like the other night, I look at it against Asheville. They left on, I think it was 12 runners on base. Well, my goodness, they scored 29 runs. They're on base all night long. So pretty much every inning, they're scoring runs. But when the inning ends, there's guys left on base. Sometimes I think that number is overemphasized because I think it just depends on the number of hits. Now, in a game, a close game, you get up 12, 10, 15 runners left on base in a close game, and that's the difference. Yeah. But, I don't know. I think it depends on the game. I think the scenario can change each time. I think it depends on that. But, again, Samford's pitching staff, they've done a pretty good job. It was Kishak, I think was how you pronounced it. He went 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks. Tennessee only struck out 3 times today. That's a positive to me. That means they're putting the ball in play. Curley, Peebles, Bargo had strikeouts, but walks, they had 6 again today. If you're out walking your strikeouts, I think that's a pretty dang good day on it. And you look at Tennessee, the first 4 innings, they were held in check. The last 4, they went in the 5th inning a run, 6th a run, 7th a run, then they got that grand slam into 8th. And then, again, I thought the pitching was good today. I thought Marcus Phillips looked good. I thought he did good things. There was nothing I saw today that concerned me in the time being of him being in the rotation. And then Snead come in, it was kind of an interesting move. Snead did have 3 wild pitches today. That was a bit, I don't know if he come in a little amped up or what it was, but I thought he settled down nicely towards the end. At first, I thought he was a little bit wild, but, he had the hit by pitch. He had 3 wild pitches. He didn't have any walks on the day. And then in that 4 1/3, he did have 6 strikeouts, 14 strikeouts for Tennessee on the day. Through 2 games, they have struck Samford out 34 times. That is pretty crazy numbers on it. But the big thing that surprised me, and I'd gotten an interesting text at that time that just said, "What does this mean?" And it's what it means. It's going to be interesting to see. Again, I don't think that Vitello's probably started his press conference yet, but I can assure you, probably one of the first questions that's going to happen in this press conference is going to be, who's your starting pitcher tomorrow? And to me, if Loy is out right now, everything I've seen says Loy is not ready to go. I think it's pretty obvious you're going to see the freshman Tegan Coons make his debut tomorrow as the Sunday starter. And I'll be totally honest, I would not expect him to relinquish that role at any point this season, if that is indeed the case tomorrow. It definitely does not look like the Vitello press conference has started. There's no quotes Yeah, but that's going to be one of the first questions that gets asked. It may be the first question that gets asked, because I thought it was interesting earlier in the week when they asked him about the pitching plans, and he said Liam Doyle Friday, Marcus Phillips Saturday. He did not say anything about Sunday, and I think somebody said, so the same plan? And he said, yeah, same plan. But he never come out and said Snead was starting on Sunday, and I thought that was very interesting. And people ran with, well, it's going to be Snead again on Sunday. But I thought that was really interesting earlier in the week when he did not commit to Snead starting Sunday. My guess right now is Coons didn't pitch last weekend because he was sick as a dog. He did throw a bullpen this week. My guess is they've seen enough that they're ready to rock and roll with him tomorrow. So that should be pretty exciting if that's the way they go. I don't know it for sure, but I just don't know what other route they go unless they pull a surprise and go Dylan Loy. And he's all of a sudden ready to go. I just don't think Loy's a starter. I think he's your middle way guy. I really do. I think because he's around 90, I want these guys throwing high 90s like they're rolling with now. With Doyle, with Marcus Phillips, I like what he's doing right now. Coons is going to be about the same. And Coons can throw 5 pitches for strikes. I'm hoping it's him, and I hope we're ready to rock and roll. I think it'll be really exciting tomorrow if that is indeed the case, as I expect it will. But it does remain to be seen. It is Tony Vitello can throw a curveball pretty well, sometimes on lineups and stuff. But, man, what an exciting game. Exciting or not necessarily the end, because Snead come in and locked it down. Or he was already in, but he locked it down. But what an exciting moment, man. 6 games in, you have the freshman come in, hit the pinch hit grand slam. Great day for Tennessee athletics with a big road win against Texas A&M. And then, not so much. It's so big to beat Samford. Samford's a solid baseball program, though. They're not bad. They're much better than what Tennessee has seen up to this point in the year. They are a solid program for sure. I think one that keeps getting better and better in different sports along the way. But you guys have a great rest of your Saturday. This is Frank. This is the House of Orange. Make sure you hit that like, that share, that subscribe, and do me a favor, check out the links in the description for the channel memberships, for the channel Patreon as well. Those do go to help the channel. They are greatly appreciated. They are a great help as well. And then, if you just want to say thanks to, there is the super thanks option in the bottom right-hand corner. Any donations are greatly appreciated. Frank, House of Orange, last but not least, go Vols.